Welcome to the second segment of examining Romelu Lukaku's time at Manchester United. This is going to be part two. On Thursday, I did part one, which was Lukaku's time at Manchester United in his first season, his debut season, scoring 27 goals in the span of 2017-2018. So that was his first season. Now I'm going to be doing the second part. I have to finish it by at some point. I'm going to be doing the second part of Lukaku's time at Manchester United, which was 2018 and 2019. Now, unfortunately, this was Lukaku's last season at Manchester United, and there's a reason for that. But I'm gonna get into that in this video podcast. Now, hopefully, this video is going to be less than 30 minutes, as I would hope. But first of all, I want to say something real quick. So again, most of you guys that appreciate my video podcast, which is a very few number, I know that I watch the analytics. Some of you guys that genuinely watch through, I'm very appreciative of some of you guys, even though you might not like the video, but you took out the time or your busy your busy schedule to watch my videos. I'm very appreciative, but still I appreciate if you like it, because you liking it will tell me that you watch it thoroughly, and if you dislike it, you disliking it will improve me, so I can watch over the video and say, okay, what should I improve on? Is me. So that in itself is a good thing for me. But I have to go on a short tangent, and I hope this is not going to be a mellow rant, but I have to say something about, because my channel is very young. I have about 31 subscribers as I am speaking right now. As I'm speaking right now, I have 31 subscribers. So I'm still diapers into the game. I haven't grown a beard yet in the game. I haven't had any hair chest anything in the game, so I'm still young in the YouTube game. But this is something I need to say. And I guess with success comes hatred, but I haven't had that peak of success yet. But still on my journey, I've had a group of haters trying to hate on my channel. The first time it happened was in I think last year, summer of 2020, when I said something along the lines of Sancho. I think it's Sancho and him being a person from Manchester, and it's something that dealt with. I think Manchester City and Manchester United came to United with some tragedy that happened, and I said something that was controversial, and I had a bunch of white niggas, black niggas, SA niggas, Middle Eastern niggas coming on my channel and disliking my video podcast. I had about like probably 10 dislikes or 2 likes or something like that. And they had a myriad of videos. Well, it's my videos, and they come on my channel and dislike the videos them. Isn't it? So, and some person were saying, who is this loser trying to make it in the YouTube game? This nigga don't know anything about football. What is he talking about? That was just dislike his video, because I don't like this big ears nigga. And they just start disliking my video podcast. Now, again, I'm not really bothered about that, because I know that if they were in front of my face in person, none of that would even come into fruition or come into reality. So I'm not really bothered by that. Is me. But I still do my videos because I have thick skin. So that type of thing is not going to get under my thick skin. I have alligator thick skin. So again, that's not going to bother me. But today, I commented on a particular, I ain't going to say the name of the YouTube channel. I commented on something, and this brother, I don't even know if he's a brother or he's just some nigga, but whether he's a nigger or not, that type of behavior was niggerish behavior. That behavior is niggerish. So I commented something on the channel, and he came and responded to my response to another user on YouTube. And he was saying that I'm gay. He said that I'm gay. He said that I look gay. He said that I look gay through my eyes. He said, I can tell that you're gay, bro. And he came on my channel and disliked, I think, my last 3 or 4 video podcasts, and he wrote comments in those in those videos, and he said that I'm gay, you look gay, you are gay, you look gay, I know you're gay, and something to that. So of course I blocked him from the channel, But this is where I'm going to confront. This is where you have poked the bear. And whenever you poke the bear, you're going to get mauled. You're going to get barked at. You're barking up with the wrong tree. Again, this is not a run because this is supposed to be for a Lukaku part 2 video. But whenever you come at me like that, bro, I'm going to just tell you this. I know when you're in face to face, in confrontation with me in reality, I know that stuff won't come into reality. It's easy to do stuff behind a screen. It's easy to say stuff behind a screen. When you're in front of the big man himself, you're like a puppy dog. You're like a cat that's just mingling around my feet. I bet that type of that behavior would not come into fruition or reality. Shoot, your bitch, your half-looking bitch, would be very aroused. She would even come. She would have a first-degree orgasm by listening to my voice. Real talk. Real talk. And you're saying I'm gay. You're saying I'm gay. You're saying I'm gay. Your mother would have a second look on me, nigga. Your half decent looking mother would have a second look on this brother. Shoot. Real talk. Hold on. So if you want to say all of this about me being gay, I'll say this. Let me talk to your half decent looking bitch if you have any. And she'll come by the by the sound of my voice. And I'm not even into her as yet. My penis is not even into her vagina as yet. And she's coming to the sound of my voice. And you're saying I'm gay? You're saying I'm effeminately gay? Bro, check yourself before you wreck yourself, bro. You're barking up the wrong tree. You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't know where you get that impression from. Hey, go take that elsewhere, bro. Like I said, I block you from the channel. So, but anyway, I have to say that, bro, because I've been getting a lot of backlash ever since this channel has been made. And this channel is not even 2 years old as yet. It's still in diapers. It's still in the baby. It's still in the manger, isn't me? So it's growing. But brothers be hating my channel, bro. Like, what the hell? Now, anyway, after that advertisement being said after 7 minutes, let us go into the second half of Manchester United's former striker, Belgian striker, Romelu Lukaku's time at Manchester United. Now, it was spring of 2018, and after the 2017-2018 season, Romelu Lukaku made a means of 27 or 28 goals in his first season. But some persons were still not bought on the thought that this man, this Belgian big nigga, is the one to lead us forward, although he is a striker leading the forward line. People were thinking that this nigga is not in line with who Manchester United is as a club. You see me? So despite all those goals, person were not thinking he was the one that's going to bring us to the goal of winning the trophy of the Premier League or the Champions League. Now, after that season, it was the World Cup. The World Cup was around the corner, and players need to be in fitness so they can perform at their best. So Lukaku said this dire comment, which I found very interesting. Now, if Lukaku was like 150 pounds, 160 pounds, I wouldn't have any problem with the comment that he said. But this brother said, and you all know how Lukaku looks already, this brethren said that he needed to bulk for the World Cup so he can play at his best in the World Cup. Now, based on my recollection, Lukaku plays soccer, as some person would call soccer, as in football. This brethren don't play rugby. So I don't know what he's bulking for. Besides the fact that he's already big. So I don't know what he's bulking for. I don't know if he's trying to win the trophy that is bodybuilding. I don't know if there's some bodybuilding show that is on the street that he's trying to win. Although the World Cup is around the corner, there was no reason for him to get that big. And that played into why I'm gonna get to that in a second, but that is one of the reasons. Those were one of the risk factors as to why my brethren didn't really succeed at Manchester United. Why are you bulking? That is like putting gas in a tank that is already full. Like I don't get it. Why you're putting gas in a tank that is already full? Lukaku, based on my recollection, I know that looks is in the eye of the hole and that's subjective, but Even your baby can tell you that Lukaku was big at that time. But my man wanted to bulk. What are you bulking for, bro? You're not playing rugby. And even in rugby, even if you bulk, you need conditioning. You need to be toned. So I don't see how that was an excuse to use for you being performing in the World Cup that is to come. If anything, sure, you need to be losing weight, bro, so you can be more flexible, more reliable, and more movable. Like, I don't know what you're bulking for. So anyway, I'm not going into the World Cup. I'm talking about his time at Manchester United. So after the World Cup, he came back to Manchester United. Um, yeah, he came back to Manchester United, but persons saw that this was a different Lukaku because, as I alluded to previously, he was at the World Cup and he got knocked out at the semi-finals against France. So of course, Belgian persons that play for Belgium. I'm not really sure if they were Belgian persons, like they were born in Belgium, but they were persons that played for Belgium. So they needed a break from professional club football, even in spring training. So when they come back, they can build back and lay back and chill. Um, so when Lukaku came back, it was not the same Lukaku as in his first season, and definitely when he was at Everton. It was a different Romelu Lukaku. Lukaku not only get big, but he didn't look the part. He wasn't playing the part. He was even missing more chances than he already was. So Lukaku in his first game, I think Sanchez gave him a good ping ball over the top, and Lukaku was trying to header it, and he didn't even make contact. I mean, he just needed to like make contact with the ball, and I could probably would have like probably hit the target or something. But the cross went over the bar. So, and he got a chance. I think it was created from Sanchez again, and Lukaku hit the goalkeeper where he could have just put it into the bottom corner. And persons were saying, okay, this is not the Lukaku. This is not the Everton Lukaku. Lukaku, as I already alluded to, my man did need to get that big. My man did need to get that big. So it was becoming more of a detriment to Lukaku, um, in terms of him scoring chances. You got a couple of in the game we lost against Brighton in our second game in 2018-2019 season. Lukaku got a couple of chances and he missed them. I think one was at the near post, like he cut inside and he tried to probably go for the far corner, but he went for the near corner and it just went wide. And there was this time where he had the ball, he was like trying to dribble with it, and he just made a mess of it. It's like seeing an 800-pound elephant trying to dribble with a ball, or a donkey trying to have the ball at his feet. Like, both of those didn't really meet in a positive light. And because of that, Lukaku got a lot of criticism, backlash, bad names, bad claims based on his piss poor performance against Brighton. And it was showing that he didn't need to get that big. He did not need to get that big. And his performance was his confidence, I should have said, his confidence was, you could tell that the guy was not really confident. But what really led to Lukaku improving his confidence somewhat when he scored two goals against Burnley away from home. I think a goal, an assist came from Alexis Sanchez and find Lukaku in the box. And I think he scored another one where it was based on individual ability. So persons were saying, so this fat nigga has something in his box, huh? Let's see what he has in his box for the rest of the season. So we can find a reason to keep him for this season. As if they were, as if they were the CEOs of the club. But yeah, persons were, saying, okay, Lukaku is getting his goals now. And Jose Mourinho, of course, he was still a manager. Mourinho, Mourinho was trying to make Lukaku someone that he was not. He was trying to make Lukaku like a target man. And in some cases, that went to plan, but that was not the man's main plan. That is not his forte. That's not his main claim to fame. That's not his mantra. That's not his reality of playing our 1960s style of play target man. That's not him. Like Ran said in that video he did with Full Time Devils like 3 years ago. He said that Lukaku is just a big version of Chicharito with no world-class ball control, at least at that time. His finishing can go either way. He's warm and cold with his finishing. And the way how he uses his body is very diabolical. So, so Mourinho was trying to play the ball directly to Lukaku. And like I alluded to like in my last video podcast in part 1, for starters, Lukaku does not play well with his back to goal. It's best if you play with 10 persons in your side, bro, because with Lukaku playing his back to goal, it's not going to be effective. He's not a Didier Drogba type of striker. He's not that type. He's very effective when he's facing goal. That is Lukaku. Because he has the pace when there is space so that he can run into that space with his pace and actually create a goal scoring chance. So the chance of Mourinho trying to make Lukaku into the target man that he's not, I just found that very funny. And his passing was, don't even get me started on Lukaku's pass. So as the season went forward, Manchester United was not having the best of season. I should have just mentioned that at the beginning. He was not having the best of seasons because the strikers were not really on fire. Martial was getting his goal. Rashford was doing decent. I think this is where Rashford came into real Marcus Rashford. And Lukaku was missing and hitting. He was crashing and burning at some point. So there, if I was to in the game against Chelsea away from home, again I'm not going to go through all the games Lukaku played in. I'm just going to be simulating just through his season, which was the second season. So in the game against Chelsea away from home, Marcel got 2 goals at the bridge. He got 2 goals at the bridge, and I think Lukaku in that game, he played decent, but he played more of a different role. Like Marcel, in terms of the forward line, he was a finisher. Lukaku was the one that's going to hold the ball and try to create space for Rashford and Martial to run into. You see me? So those were the 2 players that were playing off him. You see me? And Lukaku, ever since, his performance was not very convincing to some fans. Even though he played, you could say, his best, it was not in the interest of a lot of Manchester United fans, because persons were saying you could have done more. You should have passed the ball there. So although he had a hat-trick, now man, you should have got like a super hat-trick or something like that. So persons were not very convinced with the performance of Lukaku. And definitely when he had like a stinker, a howler, persons were just on Lukaku's back. And it came to the point where Lukaku was in and out of the squad. Like, there are some games he was not starting, because it was that bad. Like, his goals in the Premier League was just poor. And unfortunately, I mean, you can't really sack the 11 players that start. You have to go sack the manager, because if the players are performing poorly, more than likely it's something to do with the manager and his team management and his man management. So Jose Mourinho was excused, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came into the picture as speaking of that. Before I get into that, there was this game against this was before Jose Mourinho got sacked, but instead no, I think it was after Liverpool he got sacked. But there was this game against Southampton away from home where Manchester United was losing 2-0 to Southampton before half-time. And Lukaku, there was a few times Lukaku got the ball at his feet, and his ankles could not meet with the ball control. Like, whenever the ball came to his feet, my man would just trip over the ball. It was that bad. But he got a goal against Southampton. But his performance, though, his performance was just, it was just, he needed to be called into discussion. Persons needed a revival, crusade, campaign, a matrimony to bless Lukaku's performance, because this bridging was not performing up to par. You see me? So after that game, Mark Hughes got sacked because United came back into it with a goal from Rashford, I think, or Jesse Lingard and Lukaku. So the game was drawn, but Mark Hughes was excused from his role as manager from Southampton, because the it's been said that the CEO of Southampton believed that they should have beaten a poor squad like Manchester United, and for Manchester United to come back from 2-0 down, come back around the bush and equalize 2-2. Now, bro, we have to excuse you from the managerial role. So, person was saying that, but the thing was that Lukaku was still criticized in that match. Even when we were playing against Newcastle at home, where people were saying, okay, if we lose this, Mourinho has to get sacked. Mourinho has to get sacked, and he did get sacked, but not after the Newcastle game. It was after the Liverpool game. Then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came into the picture. Now, persons were very familiar and happy with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because they were saying, okay, we have a breath of fresh air. Is me, what is going to be in the eye of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as it relates to him bringing Manchester United forward? Because we have certain forwards that is not leading us forward. So what is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer do to lead us forward? So based on the couple of weeks with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, with that big win against Cardiff City away from home, I think we won 5-0 with Rashford's free kick, Martial scoring an individual, build up Barcelona 2011 type of goal. Personally, we're seeing this as a goal to improve our style of play. And based on what I've observed, and a lot of fans noticed this at the time, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer switched to a 4-3-3 fluid formation, which meant that Pogba would be on the left-hand side of the midfield with Matic sitting deep with Ander Herrera as the box-to-box. Is me. And as the front three, things were not looking so bright for Lukaku because, as I just mentioned, it was going to be a fluid 4-3-3 system, which meant that Jesse Lingard would be on the right-hand side, Rashford would be on the left-hand side, and Marcel would be in the middle. And those three would not stay as static persons. Like, they would change interchangeably. Like Rashford would be in the middle at some point, Marcel on the left, just Lingard would either find his way either in the number 10 position or in the centre forward or false line position to get a goal. So the front three was not really static. It was a fluid front three. So that was the type of football game that Manchester United and the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when he was not permanent manager as yet. That's the type of ball game they were playing. And the future of Lukaku was looking dim. It was a tunnel vision future for Lukaku because Lukaku is not that type of no, he can be fluid when he wants to. He has pace and he can use a pace. But the thing is that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted his fluid front three to be scoring goals. Not just one striker scoring like 30 odd goals. He wanted at least 20 from Rashford, at least 20 from Martial, and at least 15 if not 10 from Jesse Lingard. Whoever was playing in the front three, that is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted from his front three to begin with. He didn't want his striker, his lone 4-2-3-1 type of striker to be getting like 30 goals in one season. He wanted to mix things in the mixing bowl. So, by doing that, he put Lukaku on the bench. Now, when Lukaku played, this is where the role was different. Lukaku was playing more of a right-handed striker side, or as a right midfielder, or as a right winger, because he knew that Solskjaer knew that. Okay, let me calm down, because I'm getting deep into it. He knew that Lukaku was not going to be as effective in that fluid front three because Lukaku is not that fluid as liquid to begin with. So he was going to put him on the right hand side of the attack. And it was effective because he was beating players. You know, he didn't have to play with his back to goal, so that could lead him to getting 2 or 3 goals. Um, and he would assist, and he even got Jesse Lingard a couple of goals against Arsenal in the FA Cup, where my man did the moonwalk, that infamous moonwalk at the bridge, not at the bridge, but at Emirates Stadium, which is known as Jesse Lingard Stadium. So yes, whenever Lukaku played, he would play on the right hand side of the attack, not as a centre forward, not as a centre straight, not as a centre stage type of player up front. You see me? Because again, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was all about pace and tenacity, not only midfield but as a forward line. So that was what he wanted to be in lining with his style of play. And his style of play was displayed and portrayed by what he saw on the pitch. And a lot of Man United fans were actually happy with the way we were playing at the time. It's like actually about 2 years now. So but person were still skeptical of the future of Lukaku. Person were saying, okay, and this is how we knew that Lukaku's future was in jeopardy. Fellaini got sold in January of 2019. So persons saw that with Fellaini being sold in 2019 in the winter transfer market, person would see this as a routine to Lukaku being sold in the summer of 2019 because things didn't look up to par. Things were not adding up for Lukaku. Person were saying, okay, I can't believe that we spent 75 mil on this Belgian big ass nigga who is not going to last longer than 3 years at Manchester United. So the future of him, the likelihood of him staying at Manchester United is very low. So person we're saying his style of play, this type of player is not going to be a future player for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer based on what he wants as his first team. Now, whether or not that was the right decision, that wasn't the point. The point was that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had a plan to look for Lukaku to start him from the bench. Not as a starting striker, but take him off the bench and play him. And Lukaku, he would do his thing, but Lukaku knew that he had to leave Manchester United because he believed that he was not a starting player off the bench. He was a starting striker. And he wanted to start games so that he can gain goals. He can get souls of defenders. And he can get the souls of defenders from the bench. So, because it's not a visual game. So, in the times Lukaku played, you could say that his passion was not really there anymore. You could say that his passion was not really there anymore. Apart from the equalizer, I think he scored against Southampton at home with that worldie from Andres Pereira. And when Lukaku scored that, I think it was a right-footed goal from Lukaku to equalize against Southampton at Old Trafford. Yeah, and he took off his shirt. Yeah, that was probably the last time my man showed passion. But bringing things to fruition, Lukaku, although the season was coming to an end, we had a game against PSG. Lukaku was not good in the I don't think he would play. I think he actually played in the first leg, but we lost that first leg against PSG. So against PSG in the second leg, Lukaku put us back on the scoring sheet in the first like 45 seconds or something like that. Put it past Buffon. And we had a chance to go through, and we went through, but the style of play, bro, although Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was new to the game, but although we beat PSG, we left Neymar numbness. Against Barcelona, it was not the same thing. It was not the same thing. And to skip over miscellaneous details, bro, Lukaku knew that he had to leave Manchester United, not for the club's good, but for his own good, because he needed to start games. Lukaku was in his prime at the time, and he's still in his prime, but definitely my man was at the newest chapter of his prime book. Like he needed to open his prime book and start reading his prime and internalizing that prime so that he can play out his prime years as a football player. You see me? So he knew that he wasn't going to have the best of his football years at Manchester United. yeah, his puberty prime years was not going to last long at Manchester United, so he needed to leave Manchester United. So that's what he did. So after the season, I think he got 15 goals in our competition, which was not very good. Inter Milan came calling. Inter Milan came calling. Antonio Conte was appointed as manager of Inter Milan. There was a deal that was put in place for Icardi to be on loan at PSG because Cavani was getting washed up, and they needed a replacement or a starter through Icardi to be starting over Cavani. And if you want Icardi, there need to be another world class quote unquote striker, or a potential world class striker that is in the picture to start for Inter Milan. This is me. If you hear persons in the back here, they're just having a bashment because they're enjoying the spring. So yeah, there was a plan, there's a deal plan that was put in place for Lukaku to be excused from Manchester United to go to Milan. And that was the plan. Lukaku was sold from Manchester United, unfortunately. Person will say, unfortunately, what's this nigga talking about? But he went to Inter Milan. I do remember the fee. I think it was for 25 mil or something like that with add-ons. And eventually it took a while. It took about 2 or 3 seasons afterwards, but Antonio Conte got his man at a different club. He got his man at Inter Milan. And you know, it was a bromance. Antonio Conte and Lukaku, they came together because Antonio Conte needed a striker like Lukaku. Is me? He needed a striker like Lukaku, and he did. So with us losing Lukaku in the summer, I'm wrapping up right now. We had Martial, Rashford, the new signing Daniel James from Swansea. Is me? Because with a player from Swansea, a person like him needed to be decent so that we can see what this nigga is up to. This Welsh nigga who named Daniel James is up to. So when Lukaku was sold, we had Martial, Rashford, and Daniel James as our, striking targets, as you could say. But we knew that was not going to be enough because we knew that it was a void that needed to be filled by a striker. We didn't have a striker that had presence. And in the absence of Lukaku, we knew that we were lacking, or we were behind the eighth ball with a physical, domineering striker with presence. Is me? So to wrap things up, bro, Lukaku was a failure at Manchester United. Lukaku was a failure at Manchester. No, I'm not saying that it was based on his fault fully or 100%, but let's just keep things a buck. Lukaku was a failure at Manchester United. The type of striker Lukaku was, he was not played into the role that he was supposed to play in, although he got 27 goals in his first season and probably 15 or 16 in his last and second season. So him being sold, it needed to be done. It needed to be done. The player and the club needed to split like business partners so they can get on the best of things. So Lukaku was excused. And right now Lukaku is playing his best football in Inter Milan. So things for him right now is looking good for him because he's one of the best strikers not only in Italy but in generally and fully in the world. Person were saying it's a mistake that we sold Lukaku because we have seen what Lukaku has improved on. He's improved his first touch. He's actually lost weight when he came to Italy. I don't know what's up with the spinach in Italy, but I guess it's working wonders on the guy's form. And he's performing. He's informing person from Manchester United saying, yo, it's not that I was a piss poor player at Manchester United, but y'all used me in the wrong role. It's me. And based on what I was told, I had to play that role or I was going to get benched. Because it's either you have to do what Jose Mourinho tell you to do or you just go get benched. And secondly, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't want to play that type of football with Lukaku as him being the focal point of his front three. So he needed to leave. And he did leave. So with all that being said, bro, Lukaku was a failure at Manchester United. I wouldn't say he was the worst flop. I'll designate that to Falcao and Alexis Sanchez. And Alexis Sanchez, he went to Milan. But still, Lukaku is a striker that was fit and suited for the Premier League. This brethren has more goals than Didier Drogba, even at a young age. Young age. And this brethren has more Premier League goals than Didier Drogba. I personally believe that Didier Drogba is like a top 5 Premier League striker of all time. So, Lukaku had potential to even conquer England. But given how things went for him at Manchester United, he just needed to leave for his sanity and for his football reality. So, with all that being said, yeah, so he needed to leave. So again, like and subscribe to the channel below. Click that link down below. Leave your comments down below. Unless it's stupid, I'ma delete it and I'll block you from this channel. Leave your comments down below. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that post notification button. And I'll shout you guys in the next video podcast. Thank you.